when the house goes silent and you swear you hear a faint scratch, a soft thumping, or a whisper from behind the drywall. What if it isn't your imagination? What if the walls are trying to tell you something? Most people brush it off. Maybe it's the pipes, maybe it's the wind, maybe it's nothing. But deep down, a small part of you wonders, what if it's something else? Something that's been there longer than you've lived in that house. Every home has its secrets. Behind the paint, behind the plaster, there are layers of stories, things built over, sealed up, and forgotten. Objects, letters, even rooms that no one was meant to find. And sometimes those walls remember. They hold echoes of the people who lived there before you, their laughter, their arguments, their silence. You can cover them with new paint, new furniture, a new life, but some things don't stay buried forever. So the next time you hear that quiet noise from the walls, pause for a moment. Listen closely, because maybe, just maybe, it's not the house settling. Maybe it's something waiting to be found. We like to think our homes are safe. The walls around us feel solid, strong, built to protect us from the outside world. They keep the rain out, the cold away, and everything unknown just beyond reach. But what if that feeling of safety is only an illusion? What if those same walls that make you feel secure are hiding something you were never supposed to see? Most of us don't think about what's behind them. We don't question the space between the studs, the crawl spaces, or the sealed doors covered up years ago. We move in, decorate, and start our lives, never wondering who lived there before or what they might have left behind. But every now and then, someone decides to look. A renovation, a loose tile, a strange sound that just won't stop. And that's when the illusion cracks. Because when the wall finally breaks open, the truth comes out, and it rarely looks the way we expect. It usually starts small, a faint scratching sound late at night, coming from somewhere behind the wall. At first, it's easy to ignore. Houses make noises. Wood expands. Pipes shift. Things settle. Nothing unusual. But then it happens again and again, always around the same time, always from the same spot. You tell yourself it's probably just a mouse, or maybe the wind slipping through a vent, but the sound doesn't move like an animal. It doesn't scurry or stop. It waits. It listens. One night, curiosity wins. You press your ear against the wall, holding your breath, trying to catch the noise again. And then, there it is, a soft, deliberate tap, almost like a reply. Days go by, and the sound gets louder. You start noticing other things too. A cold patch on the wall, the faint smell of something old, something damp. You knock back once, half joking, half afraid, and for a moment there's silence. then 3 slow knocks in return. The next morning, you convince yourself it was nothing. Maybe your mind's playing tricks, but something about that spot feels different now. You walk past it faster. You avoid looking directly at it, because deep down, you can't shake the feeling that something inside those walls knows you're there, and it's waiting for you to listen again. Sometimes the sounds aren't what lead people to what's hidden. Sometimes it's pure accident. A wall taken down for remodeling, a piece of loose dry wall that doesn't sound quite right when you knock. And that's when it happens. Someone finds a space that isn't supposed to exist. In old houses, this isn't rare. One man, renovating his kitchen, found a glass bottle wedged between the studs. Inside was a folded piece of paper. He opened it carefully. It was a note that read, "If you're reading this, leave this house." No explanation, no name, just that single line written in faded ink. Another homeowner found a small box sealed into the wall above their bedroom door. Inside were family photos from the 1940s, except no one in the pictures matched anyone who'd ever lived there. The neighbors didn't recognize a single face. The names on the back were smudged, almost like someone had tried to erase them. Some people think it's superstition. Others say it's history trying to stay remembered. But the truth is, we'll never really know why some things get left behind. And maybe that's the part that makes it so unsettling. The idea that what's hidden in your walls might not just be random junk. It might be someone's way of making sure their story was never completely forgotten. Every house has a pulse. It creaks. It sighs. It breathes with the people who live inside it. Over time, it absorbs everything: our laughter, our arguments, our quiet moments when we think no one's watching. The walls around us have heard every word we've ever said in the dark. They've soaked in years of life, layer after layer, paint over paint, memory over memory. You can move out, tear them down, rebuild, but pieces of every story stay behind. Maybe that's why some homes feel heavy the second you walk in. You can't explain it, but something in the air feels off. The silence isn't just silence, it's a kind of remembering, like the walls themselves are holding on to something they can't let go of. If walls could talk, what would yours say? Would they tell stories of love or of loss? Would they whisper secrets you never knew existed? We like to think we build our homes, but maybe in some quiet way, they're the ones who end up building us. Every year, stories surface of people discovering things inside their homes they can't quite explain. Real stories, strange, unsettling, and all too possible. In one case, a renter kept finding food missing from his kitchen. Nothing big, just a few bites here and there. He thought he was forgetful, until one day he set up a hidden camera. The footage showed a woman quietly climbing out of a small crawl space in the wall, eating his food and slipping back inside. She had been living there for months, and he had never heard a sound. Another story tells of a man who noticed a draft in his basement wall. When he pulled away the paneling, he found a narrow tunnel leading to a hidden room. Inside were old clothes, a mattress, and a journal that stopped suddenly, mid-sentence, 30 years earlier. These stories stick with us because they blur the line between fear and reality. They remind us that what's hiding behind the walls isn't always supernatural. Sometimes it's something far more real and far closer than we think. There's a reason the idea of hidden spaces makes our skin crawl. It isn't just fear of what might be there. It's fear of the unknown. Our minds are wired to fill empty spaces with possibility, and most of the time, that possibility turns dark. When we can't see something, we imagine it. When we don't understand a sound, our brains give it a shape, a face, a reason to exist. Darkness, silence, the unseen. These things reach into the oldest parts of our instincts. They remind us of the times when danger really did hide in the shadows, waiting to be discovered. So when you hear something behind a wall or sense a space that shouldn't be there, your body reacts before your mind does. The chill you feel isn't just fear, it's recognition. A whisper from your most ancient self, warning you that maybe you shouldn't look any closer. Maybe it's not just about the walls. Maybe it's about what they represent, the parts of life we can't see, the mysteries we don't want to face. Every place we step into carries pieces of the past. The laughter that once filled the room, the arguments that echoed down the hall, the quiet moments that left their mark without a sound. It all lingers, even if we can't see it. And maybe that's what makes these stories so haunting, because deep down, we know our world is filled with hidden spaces, inside buildings, inside memories, even inside ourselves. We seal them up, paint over them, pretend they're gone. But the truth is, the unknown never really disappears. It just waits, quietly, for someone curious enough to uncover it. Sometimes what's behind the walls isn't there to scare us. Sometimes it's just there to remind us that nothing stays buried forever. So tonight, when the house grows quiet and the lights go out, listen closely. The ticking of the clock, the hum of the air, the faint creak in the wall. It's all part of your home's heartbeat. But every heartbeat hides a pause. And in that pause, in that silence between sounds, something ancient lingers. Maybe it's just the house settling, or maybe it's the past still whispering through the walls. Because what lurks behind them isn't always meant to scare you. Sometimes it just wants to be heard.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one. Bye for now.